All right, people. Good evening. It is August, not yet. July 21st. Just another Monday. We are getting ready for this live. Our special guest today is gonna be Shaun Gee, the TINTMAN. I will bring him on. Let me know if you can hear me, if everything is working. Let me see if my comments how all is in the house. We got Justin here, so let's get our intro starter. All right, guys, welcome to another Monday night film pro podcast with our special guest tonight, Shaun Gee, TINTMAN. We'll bring him on in a second. Let's get these chats up and running. Let me see. Ooh, I got the chats up and going. They are. We got Trip Turner. We got Dustin Gonzalez, George El Chingon. Who the hell is Shaun Gee? Where you been, man, if you don't know who the hell Shaun Gee is? That's the question. All right. We got Jordan Shady J. What is up? All right. So let me bring my co-host, first of all, Mr. Ryan Wilcox, the AKA Asasan. How you doing, Ryan?
Oh,
you're on, man.
muted again. How's it going?
Good.
Good. Why is YouTube so behind, Furnace says?
Somebody says YouTube is behind.
That's what Furnace said. Yep. Hey, Ellis. Hey, Richard. Jordan. Trip.
YouTube
George.
Chats. There's nothing in the YouTube chat, so I got those up and running.
Could YouTube actually be further behind than Facebook?
I don't know. It could be. Alice, what is up? Fernando, what is going on? Richard, howdy. How you doing, Richard? I haven't got a chance to talk to Richard in a minute, so.
Marion, Thomas.
Hi, Marion, Mr.
Everybody's coming
Thomas.
in to talk to Shaun Gee, whoever that is.
Whoever that is, right? Why? Okay, there we go. That is the right side screen. Just had to make sure of that. All right, without further ado, let's bring our guest, Mr. Shaun Gee, TINTMAN. Now, remember, Ryan, we had to do this right. We have to introduce him, even though people may know him. We have to do the introduction first before we get right into, the conversations.
Trip reminded me. I don't know who the hell Shaun Gee is.
There you go. All right, Mr. Shaun Gee.
So,
TINTMAN, what is up, buddy?
nothing much.
You still at the shop, bro?
I am.
Damn, bro.
Unfortunately, I'm normally asleep about now.
Yeah, I want to say you the guy that's supposed to go home at 3:00.
Yeah, I had to rearrange Friday to make a funeral, so I'm having to work late Monday through Thursday.
Oh, damn, man. YouTube is like 10 to 15 seconds behind or more, just saying. Better Wi-Fi. All right, Shaun, for those that do not know who you are, if you can please give us your intro. Who you are, where you from, how long you been in the business.
I'm Shaun Gee. Been in the business for 30 years now. Started tenting under a shade tree in my front yard growing up with Dad. And before I knew it, I was under the shade tree and he was on the porch watching. And then I was under the shade tree and he was out running errands. I'm in Sumter, South Carolina. My shop is the TINTMAN Gill, and I just try to be the help for tenters that I didn't have when I was early in the game.
Well, as Shady J would say, be who you need it.
That's it.
Love it. How long you been in South Carolina?
Been in South Carolina about 13 years now.
Okay. Where were you before South Carolina?
We were in Rapid City, South Dakota before that, and Valdosta, Georgia before that, and San Antonio, Texas before that, and before that it was Mississippi growing up.
Whoa, what's up with so much bouncing around?
I was following Lil Mama. The
airport
kept moving her, and I had to follow.
Okay, so little mama got you all over the place.
Yep.
You still trying to find out her name?
Still trying to find out.
For those of you that don't know what that is, just follow Shaun Gee. You'll figure that out real quick.
I had like a similar, I guess, getting into the film industry. I guess, you know, I wasn't under a shade tree. My dad had a shop, you know, a garage, you know, a personal garage basically. So I had that to my to use or whatever. But yeah, I was, you know, up in the woods, basically way away from anybody, you know, and I wanted to tint some windows or whatever on my vehicle, and I just had a knack for it. I always had a knack for like detail-oriented stuff. But like you said, you know, you didn't have anybody to really help you out, and it was like that for me for years. You know, I was just up there in the woods by myself trying to figure stuff out. You know.
Yep, trial and error.
Yeah. That's why I like being a part of all this too, you know, and trying to help people out and everything. And it's really cool to see some of these new guys, you know, advancing so quickly, you know, like what took me years to get to a level that they're at, you know.
Yep. What took us 20 years to achieve, they can do it in a year because they have so many tools.
Yeah. The tools. I remember stealing. My dad did a little bit of body work and stuff by stealing all of his like little paddle squeegees and stuff like that from there, and always looking for something to try to get somewhere in a car, you know, that you couldn't reach.
Yep.
All right. Dustin's asking, how was the Solar FX tour?
Man, it was nice. The Vogelers treated us real nice. The facility is much larger than I envisioned it being. That takes a lot of work staying on top of all that inventory up there. But yeah, very hospitable. They pretty much waited on us hand and foot. Everything we thought about, we wanted. Sean and Vince made sure it was taken care of. So, real good time.
That's what's up. How far is the facility from you?
It's in Excelsior Springs, Missouri. We actually flew up there. It was a 4-hour flight. Well, the 2 flights. There was a separation. Going up there, we flew from Charleston to I don't even remember where we flew to going. Flying back, we flew from Kansas City to Chicago to Charleston. But total airtime, actually it was about 3.5 hours. Each flight was about an hour and 40 minutes.
Okay.
I never looked on a map for Excelsior. What part of Missouri is that?
I don't know what part, but it's like 20 minutes from Kansas City.
Oh, okay.
We went into Kansas City a few times, just sightseeing and different restaurants.
Dustin Gonzalez says those flight drinks cause amnesia.
Hey, the shop gotta be bright. It shines and reflects off my bald head, and so we can see things in the shop. I could probably turn that one off though.
What is that behind him?
That better?
Zach says, everybody says the longer you do it, the easier it gets. So he's starting to question that.
And I can agree with that.
There's days like that, man.
I wonder though, like, you know, maybe you just like start to get a little bit more confident and you get yourself into things that you wouldn't ever tried before, you know?
That's true, because I've only been bottom loading, I'd say, 3 years now. And when I first started, I was like, no, I ain't taking these people's car apart and can't get it back together.
Yeah.
And now I just rip them apart. And one guy, he brought his brand new Ford Lightning, the electric Ford truck in. And I have a big, it's actually a sliding glass door as the view into my shop. I use it as a peel board, but it's between the shop and the waiting room. And he was standing there watching, and I'm not paying attention, just snatching the door panel and pulling the sweep out. And then I'm up there torching on the truck. And so when I finished the truck and went in there to cash him out, he was like, you know, the last time I dropped my vehicle off, and I should have done that this time. I was like, why? It didn't take long. No, it didn't take long. But I was in here shitting bricks thinking you were tearing my truck up. That's a brand new truck.
Yeah. Yeah.
I told him, no, I don't want to have to pay for a vehicle that I ain't driving. So if I was going to break it, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I've had that before. People like standing next to me, you know, and I don't even think about it anymore. You know, like you just go in and start popping clips, and like some of those clips sound terrible when you pop them. But like I've done it so much, I know that sound is right, you know. But people that don't know it, they're like, "What are you breaking?" They're like, "Nothing. I haven't popped your clips," you know.
Well, you remember our neighbor, right? My neighbor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Got his brand new Rivian tinted, and you know he's my next door neighbor. So like he owns the motel right next door, and you know he's usually in the shop area. We usually don't have customers in our shop area. We have a separate waiting area. So
I'll tell him like he's like you consider him uncle too. He's like family. So
yeah, he's like family. He is like an uncle. So you know, he comes in, he's chatting with me. There goes Ryan. He gets up and he leaves. And then he comes back in, and then Ryan's doing it again. He gets up and he leaves again. And then we're out in the office, and he's sitting over there with my brothers, and I'm like, you okay? He's like, yeah, I can't sit there while he's handling my truck. So I can definitely understand that. I would be in the same boat as a lot of the customers, especially when you have a brand new car. I mean, like we got that Porsche in there. We, you know, I made the video this morning and failed miserably. And then Ryan tried it, and Ryan, you know, on his second try, actually got it down really well, and he tore up the inside now for installation. So tomorrow we'll lay it down, see how well it goes. But it was one of those things, even when Ryan was doing it, and we were kind of doing it where we kind of were rushing it a little bit ourselves. And we always like, you know, I made that comment with him. I'm like, dude, whenever we're training new people, we always tell them, don't do as you see, give it time. And I'm like, I think we're rushing it ourselves just because we know, you know, that it can be done. It's just that it needs to be slowed up. I took off, and then Rhino was just, he got a new film and laid it on there and was just playing with it, and then he got it and like he creased it a little bit at the very end. And he's like, I think it's really close to the edge. And we're both looking at it. We're like, it looks like it's right outside the edge. So we're like, okay, we're gonna try that out tomorrow and see how it lays in. But he got all the panels removed from the inside, as Fernan and a few other people recommended. So it's gonna be cool to see how that goes. I'm gonna try to do a video recording of it tomorrow as well, for those people that have not worked on that car, to kind of understand the insulation, because I don't think it's just the shrinking. I think it's also the insulation. You have to be very careful with that car, just the way the glass curves and stuff. But I think, Ryan, you've done a lot of like you've done a lot of these farm equipment that has similar curves, right? So you're kind of familiar with those.
No, I mean, most of the farm equipment doesn't have a curve that I've worked on that isn't quite curved like that. Like a lot of the equipment, when it's really, really curved glass, it's usually curved one way, not concave like those windows, you know. I've done a handful of like the C6s and stuff like that. I feel like it was similar, it's just shorter, so that you got the curves pushed in a tighter pattern, but
Mother Marion's in here. That she looks easy to do. So here's the funny thing with Mother Marion. We're on our Monday morning motivation call, and Mother Marion comes in and says, like, I don't know anything about tinting or shrinking, but damn, Cash, you fucked up. I was like, oh man, that's bad when Mother Marion is dogging on you, bro. No, it might have not been that bad as I made it sound, but that's how I took it.
Dustin's asking what car you're working on back there.
We're doing a removal and retint on this 2024 Altima. She took it somewhere, and that tint was horrible. It was all, even the doors were rippled and bubbled, and it's a 2024. So yeah, I got Eric working on it, taking all of that off and retinting it.
That's crazy, man, that there's people out there with a car a year or two old, you know, that their film looks like it's 30 years old, man. I keep saying that over and over. But I guess there's always going to be a market for cheap, and there's so many people that don't understand why somebody's going to do it for $90 and somebody else is going to do it for $1,000, you know, and they think they're just greedy.
That's what, and I keep, and he didn't even do the back glass. He I guess he couldn't shrink it, but I tell these guys, having a quality film is half the battle, especially in your early days when you don't know anything about reading film.
Yeah.
Having a quality film is half the battle, and it's going to last for the customer. But some people just want cheap, I guess.
Hey, man, don't dog them, man. My 16 Legacy, that's what I did. I got my doors in.
I don't dog them. I just try to educate them. But hey, it's fine by me, because in about a year, I get to make that money removing and retinting it. So carry on.
Look, when I first got in, so I tried to get into tinting back in 2008. Okay, so I think I had either Stan's DVDs or somebody's. It was like a thick ass DVD collection back in the day. It wasn't online stuff. I went through first 1.5, and I couldn't take it. I couldn't do it, and I was like, fudge it, you know, like I threw away. Actually, I didn't throw away the film. I think I still have that film somewhere. I didn't do it. 2011 comes around, and people are asking for tint. Well, they're at the tire shop, wheel shop, and I hired a contractor who was by the name of Robert. I forgot his last name, but he was a great hitter. Ford Explorer. I would call him. He'll come in. He'll knock out tint like this, man, and he'll do it in the tire area, like clean install. The only problem was with Robert was whenever he did a couple jobs, Robert was gone for a couple days.
he had to get high.
So let 6 months in, and I was like, I can't take that, man. I can't have customers come in, get tint, and if they have a problem tomorrow, I can't have that on my conscience. So in 2016, I bought a brand new Subaru Legacy. It had the camera system, and I tried to shrink the back window after watching a whole bunch of YouTube videos, and I was like, couldn't get that for the lick of me. But the doors went in. perfectly. And I was like, okay, I drove that car for a year and a half with the doors, not the back window. I got my 18 Camry and I did the same thing. Couldn't get that back window, but at that time I just couldn't drive with the Camry with that same concept. So I I removed it, called up a tinter. He came in at the warehouse, did it. Like he came in for mine and one of my sales guys tin job, and I kid you not, two of them came in. They pulled up at 8 o'clock. They were working until 6 o'clock because we end up having them tint 8 cars altogether. It was like cheap, but it was like they were good installers. One was an installer, one was a helper. Kind of intrigued me again to get back into tint after I saw them, and I'm like, dude, they just made a killing. They made $2,000 right at my warehouse, tinting 8 cars. So I started going back and researching, but that's why I said don't dog the guy, because he might be starting off at the doors, eventually will work his way up to, shrinking the back window. Now be like me and one day and trying to fuck with that Targa and get fucked online and embarrass myself, which I knew was gonna happen. But Tripp told me to do it regardless. He said, "Don't be a bitch. Get on there and do it. Let us all see it." And to me, I think it's the same thing where Ryan realized it was tacking. Even on Mike Burke's video, he mentioned that if it's humid, if you don't have proper solution on it, if it's not floating, it's gonna F up. And that's what ended up happening. And then Ryan tried it, same thing, and then Ryan realized, like, hey, need like 3 times the dryer sheets on there, and he got it, man. I mean, that's why he's this athlete.
It went nice. When I was up north too, I ran up to my cousin's house. My cousin was in Virginia. He left he's been rebuilding chargers. So he left one in his shop. So I ran up there Saturday to take care of that. I didn't have my DSP. I didn't have dryer sheets or anything. So I was like, I'll wet shrink it. I used to wet shrink all the time, right? Man, I ended up with peanuts everywhere. I fought it, ended up with peanuts, and I'm like, no, man. So then I had some DSP, just the shavings, right? So I put it in a microfiber and I freaking smashed it all up and I DSP'd it, shrunk it out like butter, went on, squeegeed out, perfect. I'm like, man, why didn't I just do that? But I was like, and that made me think about those back windows a lot, and how everybody gets so offended when you're saying it's your shrink. Oh, I know how to shrink a window. Like, no, like seriously, like most windows are so easy for us. Like if we don't give a proper shrink, they'll take it. But those windows won't. It's right. Like you need to have that shrink nailed, and then you won't get a peanut. I know you say that all the time, but man, I reiterated it in my mind after trying to wet shrink that thing. Whoa.
Tim, we did not finish it. Ryan did take another crack at it, and he got it shrunk. We will take another crack at it tomorrow morning to install it and see how that goes. I will go on live with Ryan installing the film and let you guys know how that goes. He did crease it right outside the dot matrix, so we're just hoping that it stays there and we're able to accomplish that without any problems. But
one other thing besides just getting the extra soap on there, I got my music. I turned my music up. I was in there. I was in my element, just watching this film and not learning about anything like that. I feel like helps me anyway sometimes.
I do. Yeah, you did say that you're in the zone and you're reading the film. Like, yeah. I would say that was like when you felt more comfortable with the music. And the funny thing about music, Saturday when you weren't there, Aaron's looking for the speakers. He's like, dude, where's the speakers at? I'm like, with Ryan. Because when I'm there, I like thinking in my head and kind of going through some stuff. But when there's music, I don't mind the music either. Like I kind of like it. In fact, it was funny. Yesterday, I'm painting the gazebo in the back, and with the music, I'm moving with the music as I'm rolling. And my wife's like, "Are you painting or are you dancing?" I'm like, "I'm just feeling the music." uh, Cut it short on sides. I told you. What's up? Rico says, Saints, what do you mean cut it short on the sides?
I think he was asking. I didn't cut it yet. I just got it shrunk, and then I had to do another vehicle, and it was 5 o'clock. We had to get out. I had to get out of there.
Oh, I think he meant that when you were shrinking, did you cut it close? Because remember he said to leave extra. Did you cut it close to that
Yes,
border?
actually, yes. When I shrunk it this time, I cut it right above the rubber, so it was laid out for me.
Yeah, I was having the same thing. I think when I did that, I was able to lay down the sides real well. But anyways, we're here for Shaun Gee, man. We're just been talking about the damn Targa. John, so you are one of the trainers for this upcoming event next month in Atlanta. In I was gonna actually say the Acworth, Georgia, Miller's Decal. How do you feel about that?
Feel great. I'm always wanting to lend a hand and help people that need it. So I'll be in my element.
Love it.
Rico?
What can we expect from you that you're gonna bring to this dynamic team of trainers?
I'll be there as an open toolbox. Whatever they need, if I got it, they can get it. Torching, shrinking, clean, how to get clean installs, whatever. Like I say, whatever the need is, I'm gonna try my darndest to meet it.
So some of the requests we got so far, because every student that is coming, we asked them the same question: is give us 2 topics or 2 techniques that you want to focus on. And some of the ones I've got so far is obviously the clean install. Speed is a concern. And then I've actually had somebody says, "Hey, I want to learn how to do the front windshields." So I got some people that are more focused on some of that stuff. But I've actually got a couple guys now. They're like, "Hey, man, we want to focus on the business aspect of it. Like, what are you guys offering on the business aspect?" So now, as a trainer that you're coming in, are you going to be chilling back when the hands-on training is not happening, and when the business course is happening, are you looking to partake in that business course as well?
Of course, I mean that's very important. You can be the best tenor in the world, but if you're not a good businessman, it don't mean crap because you'll fail. Just like that article I wrote for WeAre-Film magazine, blog, talking about how I always pay extra on all my shop bills. That way, if things ever get slow, I know I'm at least a year ahead on all my shop bills because I always pay 25% more on every bill every month, anticipating that, hey, come November, December, what if I don't tend a single car? I'll never show up to the shop and there's a padlock on it because I know I don't even know how far ahead I am because I purposely don't keep up with it. Out of sight, out of mind on that. So there's a lot of little tips that I got to just help you be a better business person.
Love it. Now on shrinking, are you gonna bring the torch?
Of course.
I on that Targa when I was messing up, I was like, "What the hell?" I'll get the torch out, and all of a sudden I hear Tim and Saints go like, "Oh shit, he got the torch out."
That's funny because the last C6 I got in my mind, I was saying, I better just get the Steinel out. The torch, I'm gonna fuck it up. Well, with the Steinel, I was shrinking it, but I just felt like I was moving so slow to where I ended up creasing it because I was more focusing on this is going too slow. And so I said, screw it. Pulled out the torch and voila, got it. Because I guess in the last 3 years, I've only used the torch. And so that one time, after 3 years of not using a heat gun, I tried it on the C6 and had to go back to the torch. So
Yeah, there's something definitely to be said about like what tools you're comfortable with, because if you try to switch something, I mean that's the advice that I've gotten like from going to competitions too. Everybody's like, do it how you do it every day. Don't try something new here. Go to your shop and try something new, not here. And
yep.
it's true.
Well,
That's how I got into torching. I saw Marco and Montana and at Tenor Battles using that torch, and I ordered one on Amazon right while I was watching them. And then it sat on my shelf for about a year because I was afraid to put a torch to somebody's car. And one day I said, hey, I'm going to try it. And shit, I probably fucked up 2 rolls of film trying to shrink back glasses. And then I ended up reaching out to Eliu, and I sent him a video of what I was doing, and he gave me a ton of tips, and the rest is history.
See, I love that. That's what this industry is turning great into, is that we now have people like Marco, Eliu, yourself, Avery, so many others, Ryan. Like
Yeah,
there's so many
Rico,
people that we can now lean on. Richard, I can name 2 dozen more plus people that it's becoming so involved, so engaging, and so helpful that the new guys are learning so much faster. Plus the tools that these guys are inventing, like Rodney, man, we were just at his place a couple weeks ago, and this guy's brain turns like at V10 speed, bro. Like he's just this tool. Like I've done this, I modified this. Like he's got all the specs and everything. Like I think me and Ryan were at the same speed. Like we couldn't keep up with everything that he was talking about and showing, and like Ryan's grabbing a tool from this wall, grabbing a tool from that wall. It's like, and he knows everything, like how long that tool's been out, what improvements they've done. Hey, I've got another version coming up. This is what I liked about this handle. You didn't like this, and so on and so on. It is incredible how the industry is adapting and evolving, because they're bringing out tools. You know, I'm pretty sure you guys have both been doing this for 30 years. We've all met and talked and maybe even tried it. That you didn't have the bulldozer. You were using a freaking, a board. Or a lot of people were using what you call it, uh, clipboard, right? Like a lot of people I talked to, they're like, man, we used to use a clipboard to get down there. Then you got the bulldozer. But now you got a dozen plus bulldozer types that you can use to do the back window. And that's from looking at it, man. It's within the last, mostly 5 years, maybe even 10 years. But there's so many now tools on the back. You got the WeAre-Film, you got that, the hard bulldozers. You got different sizes, different thickness. Uh, Doing those Volkswagens, oh my God, like there's specialty tools just for that. One thing I always loved was the best tool for the Volkswagen that worked for me was that, I don't know the proper name, but it's the white with the little black trip on it. It costs us $2 as long as this is like a straight tool. Uh, that thing worked the best for me on a lot of these Volkswagens. Like you can go get a tool for $50 and it doesn't work as good as that $2 tool. But involvement, man, the engagement between everybody. And personally, I want to thank you, bro, like for being one of the trainers. You're providing your time and your skills at no charge because you're doing this for the community. And that takes a lot to come out, spend the time, spend the skills, and give back to the community. So just wanted to kind of put that out there. One of the reasons why you're on here is that you're not getting paid to do this. You're actually spending your own money to come out and teach these people and teach the industry and grow the industry to a better tomorrow.
Yeah, and I mean, I just feel that the more the industry advances, the more money I can make. Because once the public is educated on everything that goes into this, they hopefully can see the value in it. Because I just feel that's the only way we can. Me getting to the top by myself doesn't mean crap. But if everybody can get to the top, then it means something.
Right. Yep. I agree 100%. Cash and I actually talk about this a lot too. You know, and the educated consumer is willing to open her wallet a little bit more. You know, when they understand things, and you know, and you know, like we said just a little bit ago too. There's just so many people that think tint is tint, and you know, or just want cheap. And like look at the car behind you, man. It's a shame, but then you know, as well, like you just said too, like helping the industry and the new guys come up, man, and helping them educate, you know, themselves and their customers too. It's a win-win for all of us, I think, you know, really.
Well, I mean, I was just looking at a post. I believe it was in the 313 that there's a really bad back window, and somebody was commenting like, "Hey, man, you just gotta let the customer know that there's gonna be contamination and stuff." And I'm like, dude, I'm thinking in my head like that is not acceptable contamination. And somebody actually commented on it, bro. Like if that's what you're putting out, that is not acceptable. Like there's literally a big old hair in it, and there's a whole bunch of contamination. I don't know if you guys saw that, but
No.
I just saw that right before this, and there was a guy in there like, you know, oh, just let the customer know that, you know, we're gonna have contamination. There's no controlled environment. And I mean, like, dude, that's all good and dandy. I still remember Shaun Gee at the Amelia Island at Tinner Battles. He's doing the back window. He's got it up in the air, and somebody asks him a question, and you're like, with that tint, you're answering their question, and people are wondering, dude, like, don't you need to lay that down? And you answer the question, and then you go lay down, and it still was a great install. And that is nothing but technique, man. That you've mastered, you know, same thing like the Chargers and Challengers. Last time we did a similar event at my shop, bro, you brought that glass. You showed the people how to do the Chargers without having those peanuts. And it's simple skills, man. It's like few things that just skip your mind because you just happen to either tried it or you improved on it. And now you're able to pass that on and make the next guy's life easier. But it's also the time that's spent into that technique. Just
But
because you can do it in 30 minutes, it didn't take you 3 hours, doesn't mean that you pay less. It actually means you should pay the guy more because now he's the master at what he does. You know, we had this happen last month. Ryan had a flat glass job and he got that job done like under an hour. And the customer's reaching out to me like, hey, man, I thought you said it was going to take a couple hours and this guy got it under an hour. Do I get a 10% discount? I'm like, wait a minute. You want me to give you a discount and not tip the guy because he did such a great job and he did it, you know, half the time? Like typically people would be offering this guy a tip, not asking for a discount because he knows what the
he's
hell he's
efficient.
doing. You know, I'm
and,
like, he's a 30-year veteran, bro. That's why he's able to do what he's able to do. Not like, you know, a year or 5-year-old guy that's going to take 3 hours on it.
speaking of Amelia Island, that was a Charger back when he was doing. And contamination wise, there was a drone flying over his head. He was on the outside of that fence where that drone was flying too.
Yep. But in that instant, I knew that I had that film soaked. So it was very little chance that something falling was going to stick. I had a good chance that it would just roll down with the slip that was dripping off. So that's why I knew I could take that quick second to answer that question. Like I say, I just hate to come off to people as, oh, he's arrogant, yada yada yada. I asked him a question and he wouldn't even answer me, not taking into consideration, hey, he was in the middle of an install. But like I say, and for me, it didn't matter. If that caused us to lose, so be it. I just helped that guy out, so
Yeah.
it is what it is.
No, it was a great moment, and a lot of people that were there appreciate that, and I think that also kind of made you feel good about yourself. Is that like, hey, listen, I helped out, just like what you just said. Is like, hey, listen, I'm not arrogant. I'm none of this. Even though you've been doing this for 30 years, you're willing to teach and you're willing to let the community get better. And I think that's what we have to keep on reminding ourselves, especially when we have these tough and hard days, is that the more we educate our own selves, the more the community gets educated. The more the community gets educated, the more the customers get educated. In fact, I spent 30 minutes with a customer today on a flat glass job, and the customer was like, she called up two other places that quoted her. One only give her a dual reflective option, nothing else. And she's like, that's not what I want. And then the other one quoted her, but didn't give her what film they were using, any specs on the film, just has how many square foot it is and what the cost is. And she's like, I want to do homework. I want to do research, and I'm like, you should do your homework. You should do a research because this is your home. You're investing in this. You want to make sure that the product is what you're looking for, first of all. And second of all, you want to make sure that it's installed by somebody that knows what the heck they're doing. And three, you don't want to worry about that. Is it going to last? If you don't know the product, you don't know the specs, what are you getting? Are you getting an Amazon, tint, AutoZone, the Walmart, the Gala? Like, what are you getting?
Or are you getting a potential disaster with a film that's going to blow your windows out too?
Exactly.
Exactly. So the customer, like, literally, I kid you not, almost 30 minutes on the phone, and we didn't really talk anything else other than like, hey, what do you want, and what to kind of look out for. And she really was an informative customer, and she was like, I want this is where I'm at. I'm in a decently new house and I don't want to deal with that. And she was already dealing with glass failure because she was already having the moisture in a couple of her glass. She's like, I want to take care of that. I'm like, dude, do your homework. Let me answer any questions you got. That's what we're here for. So somebody said that. I think Zach was the one that says that he loves to leave a hair in every car. You just gotta look for it.
Like an Easter egg.
I can't do that.
Yeah. Easter egg. Rico people are scared of the tinters, not the tint. True that. Sometimes. What else we got? I gave 2 different 5-star reviews to a pizza spot that had a hair under my. Oh no, that's disgusting. Let's not talk about that. Oh, I cannot. Oh man, now I'm not gonna have calzone for 3 years. That is. Oh my god. All about
Zach says you can. Zach says you can still leave a beard hair, Sean.
I try not to.
I was talking about this with somebody. You notice how, like, different hair, like everybody's hair is different, and like certain hairs will come out of film no problem. Certain hairs will just like start disintegrating as you try to get it. Even with that tape trick, it just isn't. It's a lost hope.
I mean, dude, like even like today on the flat glass job, right? That wood, even though I cleaned it really well, there was 2 spots on the very bottom. Now, customer's never gonna see that spot, especially with the window being high. But I still wanted to get that out. And funny enough, I was just able to lift it, wet it, and just take it right off without even the tape, without leaving any kind of glue or any kind of imperfections on it. and I was quite impressed with that. How I was able to get out two little specks out of the same glass. And then Ryan had the bad luck of having a glue line that he had no idea where it came from. Like, and I saw him install that thing. Like, the film didn't touch each other. It wasn't any lifting. It was just weird. It was like,
Wonder if it was a film defect.
That's what I'm wondering too. Like I don't know what it could have come. Like you could literally feel the raised part in the glue. You
yeah.
know,
And it was
it
like
was
only
crazy.
like 4.5 inches, 5 inches. It wasn't anything. It wasn't a straight. It was like little sideways. So like only trying to imagine what the hell that was. But no, man, like, no hairs, contamination. Like Ryan redid that window 3 times just because the first time he just saw a little buckle on it and like, dude, I don't like it. Second time he had that little glue thing,
Oh yeah.
and it was like, okay, third time's a charm, and we're like, damn, dude, like, did 5 of the windows, okay, on the same wall, zero problems. The last window 3 times.
Yep.
But that's the dedication. Now that customer is gonna, and it was funny. She said, "We're like, hey, how does it look?" She said, "It looks good from here for right now."
It was storming. It was dark. It's raining hard. That I always get disappointed when it's like that when you're doing a flat glass job, especially when you're doing you're blocking the sun and the heat. Something you can really see and feel. Like when it's hot out, they're like, "Oh wow, you can feel a difference," And it's remarkable the difference when you put that sheet up of film right in front of you when the sun's shining. You can feel a difference.
Yep.
But then you got an overcast, cloudy day, and they can't tell. They just makes it look darker in that house that already looks dark, and but it is what it is.
Yeah, Ryan was really on that, man. And he was disappointed more than the customer that the sun wasn't out to show and highlight his work. But Ryan, I don't know if you remember, but that was the same customer that got her car tinted from another place and had all kind of effed up work on it, like 5 Series BMW, just trashed, man.
Yep.
Trip said something about most of the time we see shit the customer will never notice. That's 100% true. There's stuff that I pointed out to a customer that I don't like, saying, "Hey, you want me to redo this?" When the customer's like, "No, I'm good."
But a lot of times when I see that stuff, I just go ahead and redo it. Not that I think the customer will see it, but it's always in the back of my mind that for some reason they may end up at the tent shop across town, maybe for stereo work, and then they come out there, and tenners, they love to throw somebody under the bus. It could be something that is within industry standards, but he's a shit tenor. If I did that, it wouldn't be there. So I redo a lot just with that in the back of my mind. What would another tenor, that's another unprofessional tenor, say to a customer about this if they saw it?
There, you just touched up on that unprofessional tenor. So
Because I'll never bash a tenor to a customer. I'll ask who did it, and I'll reach out to them on the side, but all I'll tell a customer is, hey, I think I could do a little bit better if they're here for me to redo something. Can I do better than that? Yes, I think I can, and I leave it at that. I don't go pointing out every little flaw that I see, because, like I say, most of the time they're here complaining. They're complaining about one thing and not the whole big galaxy over here. Just like with this car here, she was complaining about the wrinkles and the bubbles in it from the adhesive filling, but I'm looking at trash galore, and she didn't say anything about that. So I didn't. I just say, hey, the film I use, I've been using it 10 years. It's never done this. So I'm pretty sure you will never have this problem again on this car. And I left it at that instead of taking that time to bash somebody else's work.
So you are 100% right on that. Now, I've had a customer that bugged the hell out of me to redo his car, and I chose not to do it because he had another shop do a tin job, and five out of three out of five of his concerns were bogus, like was unacceptable. Like
Yeah.
you say, when you say within standard, like it was beyond that. Like it was like not even a consideration. But he
You'd
had,
be a fool to take on that job knowing that you can't meet that. That customer's already telling you my expectations are way up here, and
yeah,
you
I mean,
already know you can't meet it. So don't even waste your time at giving them a chance to be out in public bashing you over something that's within standards,
well,
but their expectations are way too high.
that too. And then at the same time, like, what I typically, when I see something like that, is I always tell the customer, reach out to the shop that did this, tell them this is not acceptable. What can they do? Because a lot of time it could be, maybe they didn't see it at that time.
Yeah,
Maybe
maybe it became visible once it dried.
exactly. So like I always told, doesn't matter who it is. My thing is always is like, hey, give them a call, tell them what your concern is. I can point out what is within industry standard and what is not. Now, I'm not saying let's be perfect because, again, there is no perfect tin job, but there is, something that can be passed, but I understand what you're talking about. And then at that point, man, if somebody's going to overpick on you on every little thing, uh, that's their business. You're not gonna make a perfect tin job, but you're not also gonna leave out a tin job with a whole bunch of contamination or crease. Some of the little stuff is like we may see a spec that most customers don't see, but we see it because we're so close to it and we're the one that's installing it. I've shown a very small spec, and usually the spec that I'm usually talking about is usually on the back window. I usually don't want to redo a back window because of the defrost lines and stuff, but I always point out to the customer like, "Hey, man, there's a little speck on the very bottom down here that's not sitting down, and I don't know what, but if it doesn't lay down a little bit, come down a couple days, I'll touch it up, and if you don't like it, I'll redo it." I always usually leave it on that, but usually it's not a lot. It's not a one out of every five car. It's once in a while, but be honest with the customer on there. But if it's a side windows, like shit, we've done so many side windows, it's not even funny. The other day we did three sun strips just because we didn't like the way it looked. Um, and one was just by mistake. We just took it out because one side wasn't good. The other side just got taken out because we hand cut it. And Aaron thought when I say I'm gonna have to redo this one, he took out the other side, perfect freaking sun strip, hand cut, and he took it out thinking that, oh, I thought you wanted to match it up. I'm like, dude, it's a two-piece sun strip. Why would I want to do that one again? And we end up redoing it three times, bro. Like I was like, oh my god. It's funny, but shit.
I like what you said there, Sean, too. That as I've gotten older and further into this industry, I realized, looking at other tent, jobs or whatever somebody had, and seeing, you know, all these deficiencies and things. Now I look at it, I'm like, a lot of times, I'm like, all right, I know what they're struggling with, and like I've asked people like back home when I go up there and do work, and people who have tried other people out, I'm like, who did this? Um, Maybe I can help them. Like that's what I think now, like I know what they're struggling with. I could help
Yeah.
them. Like I should reach out to them, or whatever. Like that's the way I think now. Not like, oh my god, they suck.
Yeah, that's like last weekend when Avery was here and we were doing the little tent school for the had a guy fly down from Chicago and a couple come from North Carolina. But anyway, a local tenor was on his page on that Friday evening saying how he charger back glass kicked his butt. He tinted it 3 times and finally got it okay, but it wasn't perfect. So I just reached out to him. Hey, what you doing in the morning, 7 a.m.? Oh, nothing. I got a job at 8:30. I said, well, swing by the shop. We got a little class going on. I'll pull out my charger glass and I'll show you how I do them, and maybe that'll help you. That guy is grateful beyond his years because I was willing, even though he ain't my competition, but people would say he's my competition right here in Sumter. But he's grateful because I'm willing to reach out and help him, even though he's right here where I am.
Yep.
Well, if he's a smart tinter, he's gonna appreciate you doing that. And two, he's most likely gonna refer you some business or stand up for you when you're
That's
not
funny
in
you
that
say
room.
that, Cash, because he told me, he said, man, anytime people call me with a car, I know I'm not good enough. I tell them I can't do it, but Shaun G can.
Look at that. See, like that's smart businessmen right there. Both of you guys are smart about that, and that's what you got to look at is whatever you put out in the universe, you're gonna get it back one way or another.
Yep,
If you put out good stuff, you're gonna get good stuff back. If you put out shit, you will get shit. It may take a while to come back at you, but it'll come back.
Yep.
Look who's in the comment.
Little mama.
Eric's been killing. I've been watching Eric behind you. He's just quietly doing his thing. He's laying that film down. Love it, bro. Love it. Are you bringing the flag? Are you bringing the charger window to the class?
I've got to see. I should be able to. Um, I'm about 90% sure I can. I just got to make sure I don't have a truckload, but I don't think that weekend I will. So I think I'm good.
Awesome.
When I was back home at my dad's garage, I was looking out back, and I had the '80s Camaro Firebird back hatch sitting there. I'm like, oh shit, I should message those guys and see if I should bring that down. I forgot all about it. Like that would have been a good one to train on.
Yeah.
Defrosters and all.
now you're mentioning it, Ryan. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I was busy. I was running around.
Sound like he needs to take a drive, Cash.
I saw it, and I'm like, man, I should reach out to those guys, and then that just went out, and I was back on whatever I was doing, and I just completely forgot about it.
Love it. Little mama said it'd be there. There you go. The boss lady said it.
Boss lady has spoken.
Anybody that's in the comments, man, if you got any questions that you want Shaun or even Ryan to answer, because Shaun and Ryan are two of the 6 trainers that we will have for the hands-on at this class. And there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be covered. This, again, is not for beginners. This is more for medium to advanced, how to improve on your skills, how to fine-tune it, learn about business. So if you are a beginner, maybe it's good for you for the business aspect, and maybe you can take in some of the information and try it later on. But you do got to know the basic of how to hold the film, how to cut the film, and lay it down. That part is not going to be covered in the training. The training is going to cover about how you can improve on your daily installs, how you can get better, cleaner installs, how you can get ready for competitions. Like I said, I just got off with one of the students, and we talked about we probably will have some torches there to play with it. Now, one thing I would, if you are attending or plan on attending the class, you have tools, or you have a favorite tool that you work with regularly. I would recommend you bring in whatever you play with to come out and train with that to improve and get these trainers to implement whatever you want implemented. There's another trainer in the comments now that will be there at that class.
2 more.
Huh?
2 of them, Saints and Marco.
Oh, Saints been there, so
Yeah.
I've already did Saints. Marco. So you're gonna have like 3 of the badass torch guys. You're gonna have Saints. You're gonna have Marco. You're gonna have Shaun. That are badass. Now the other trainers, they know how to do the same stuff, but I'm just talking about known badasses with the torches that just play with it for the fun of it. Like somebody asked Shaun earlier, you torch everything? And I think Sean answered that is, yeah, Sean does torch pretty much everything, and the only thing he doesn't torch, he fucks up because he hasn't used a regular heat gun in so long.
There's another torture.
Mr. Torch himself, Ilyu. Papi Ilyu, I should say.
What's that say? Yow!
Yeah. Maybe he got too close to the flame there.
So, any questions you guys got? Please, let's hear them out.
Marco said I'm still learning the heat gun. I'm relearning the
Still learning the heat gun, yeah.
I've been torching too long now.
21 years with a torch. No, Marco's also great on filing, man. Marco's file game is like anything else I've seen out there. Marco has really helped me improve on the filing, just looking at him and kind of talking with him on a couple different events. So if you're into filing, Marco can definitely improve you on your filing game as well. Ryan's shaving game is killer as well too. Ryan's got some classic tools as well to kind of fix fuck ups that may happen. So that may be something else to kind of learn. You know.
I'd say I've messed up a lot in my career, you know, so I learned how to fix things the best I can. The biggest trick, though, I think.
Earlier, it's for us, it was a lot of trial and error because we didn't have YouTube and Facebook and all of this electronic help that we're offering the guys.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
Yep. My buddy up north, who built the shop that I was using, he recently has started to get into tinting, you know, since I haven't been up there. And when I got up there this last week, he had a window out of a body shop, was redoing an old Chevy Nomad, and one of the guys broke one of their windows. I think was they removed it, and one of the back like side windows on the Nomad. So he was trying to get nice tight edges, so he filed it, and then and it was laminated glass. He filed it, and then he took a torch to seal it because he knew they were going to put it back in the car, and they broke the glass. You know, so first of all, he had like some real aggressive files. So I'm pretty sure he probably like did a little chip in that laminated glass, hit it with a torch, and just popped it.
And
I was really surprised.
I tell the guys, let the file do the work. You don't have to put a ton of pressure on it. As long as that file is sharp, just gently rub it, and the file will do the work. You don't have to put a ton of pressure. I saw a lot of guys on the 313 page saying that you can't file a Tesla. I file almost every Tesla, but I know to let the file do the work.
Mm-hmm.
Same here. Ryan's my witness. I file almost 90% of the Teslas because although I love DAP and Core, the Tesla, and I believe it's more of a Tesla problem than the software problem, is that Tesla always, especially on the front windows, if you're trying to match up the top edge properly, you're either going to have access on the back or you're going to have to file the top. It's one or the other. And I file them. Like, I've got two files that are single-sided files. One is for my little speedy cut, and my second one is to just do the touch up to make it smooth as possible on there. And knock on wood, if you take your time, you do it right, you follow the process, it's fine, man. It's just fine. Just don't be arrogant, don't be stupid, and don't rush it.
Yep.
I always recommend to anybody I always recommend to anybody that's like trying to figure out how to file and stuff to not file laminated glass, you know, especially if they don't have the right files and stuff, you know. Maybe, you know, once you understand it, you know, and I know plenty of guys that do it, you know, you guys and stuff, and you understand what you're doing, you know, but I feel like if you're learning it, maybe you shouldn't do it. You know, on a regular side window, the tempered glass window, it's completely different than those laminated ones.
Yeah, don't roll over the top. I mean, filing, it's a trick of its own. You can really do a great job with it, or you can really mess it up. You can get a lot of contamination in the film with the file if you're not careful with it. You can definitely break the glass. So definitely you have to perfect it and play with it. Like I said, I've learned it. I've seen Marco do it. I've seen Dean Mitchell do it. I've seen a few other people kind of do it and kind of played with like a dozen plus files. Like I literally have played with over a dozen files to get the right files for me. I'm down to two that I love, but I'm always trying to pick up on what better tools out there that would work.
But
Um,
Rico's right there too. The Tesla has so many different types of glass. Um, like sometimes they're laminated, from the front and back. Sometimes they're only laminated in the front, and they're all over the place. That is very true.
Carbon blade 30 degrees and you'll ever file again in your life. I think Elu meant you will never file again in your life.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
that's what
look,
I like.
Ryan is that guy. Ryan is that carbon blade fire.
Shave it,
He likes to shave.
wet shave. Yep.
I can't get the damn shaving down as good as I want to. So my automatic jerk reaction is go back to my file. I know how to file. I just need to work more on my shaving game. I agree with you, Papi Elio. I need to work on more on the shaving game, especially the wet shave. That's usually where the problem is. Love me some slip and grip and a carbon blade. You got to be careful when you get Dustin talking because his language can go sideways real quick. Uh, Wet shave, I need get down. Dry shave, no. Access film, no problem. Yeah, wet shave is, I think, the biggest problem with it. There's a lot of people that's really got that technique down. Ryan can do it wet really easily, and I've gotten better with it. I'm not gonna say like it's the same as I was years ago, but it's still not where it needs to be. But my
You also
file,
have to know the car and the glass too, because certain vehicles, it's not even worth. Like some of them Rams, I'm sure Sean, like that beveled edge. I will not wet shave those. Those are not worth it for me.
Nope.
so, guys, just to kind of reiterate on the event that's happening, it's August 16th and 17th in Ackworth, Georgia, which is basically Atlanta, Georgia, at Miller's Decal. That's the large facility that I went live on a few weeks back when we did the site visit. It is $299 for you to attend the class. The class will have a whole bunch of goodies, some tools, film, some swag, as well as business class and hands-on training. All six meals are included. That's including breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The amount of networking is going to be phenomenal. You're going to have six of your trainers that so far already confirmed. That would be your Shaun Gee right there on the screen, Mr. Ryan, the assassin, right next to me. Dustin Gonzalez, Mr. Rugman, selfie king. Uh, Dustin Hall, Marco Cazzalo, the film trainer, is in the name. And Iron Man, Mr. Saints, Fernando Saints. I don't know if Fernandor or Fernando is going to show up, but either way, it's going to be a phenomenal training. That's your hands-on training, guys. Then you're going to have guys that's going to help you with the CRM, with the plotter software, with the business course, We will be doing some P&L stuff. We will be doing some spreadsheet stuff. We will be talking about marketing. We will be talking about business overall, how to run it, and how to kind of, project your next 3 6 months, year, in expenses, in growth, in planning out for the worst. Like Shaun Gee just said that he pays his stuff way in advance. I'm the same way. Like when I have a car note, my car note typically is 3 months in advance, just because when there's a slow time and if it starts to catch up, I'm like, slow time, I'm okay with that, because busy time I can do the exact same thing. Same thing with credit cards, man. Um, you got to know what to use and how to use it properly. So there's going to be a lot of good stuff. The collaboration is going to be awesome. We got some great people that's collaborating. Tim Wiz is going to be collaborating. We are going to be doing a whole bunch of video shoots on there as well. So there's going to be a lot of information for people to kind of see. But I will guarantee you this: if you don't attend this in person, you are gonna say, "Shit, I should have gone to that one." And the second thing is that $299 intro price. That's a one-time price. The next event will not be $299. It will be more than that. So, if you want to look at what the value of this package that you're gonna get, it's gonna be almost $3,000 of value for this training event. But you're gonna get film, you're gonna get tools, you're gonna get swag, you're gonna learn business, you're gonna learn hands-on advanced training. There's gonna be networking, and there's gonna be mentorship. So the point of this, the reason why we're trying to do one or two to a trainer, is that we're trying to build a mentorship. So the mentorship that you're going to take away from this, both the trainer and the students, it's going to be like anything else out there. And it's going to be a lifelong. It's going to be one of those things that you guys going to bond so well that you guys are going to become each other's new best friends. That's the whole goal of this kind of setup, is that, hey, we want to make sure that we collaborate, we support each other, and we grow together. Yeah, Trip loves free stuff. Get there or be square. 100%. Shaun Gee, I think, is trying to now realize that there's going to be goodies. Let me get an extra bag so to make sure that only thing you're doing is spinning the wheel for everyone else to get free shit. Matchmaker, yes. That's gonna be the new title, Marco. The matchmaker.
Yeah, speaking of the wheel, we should probably get
Yeah, we should get the wheel up and running. So while you guys talk, I'm gonna get the wheel up.
My dinner's getting cold.
Oh, your dinner's getting cold?
Yeah.
Well, I think they made a microwave. You can always reheat it. What an ass, right?
Has he got all that film removed?
Oh yeah, he's going back on. He's got this side complete.
Nice.
And he just re-cleaning those windows. He got the film and glue off. He's just re-cleaning them, and I'm just gonna stick the back glass on while he finishes those doors, and that'll be a wrap on this one.
Nice. I had that Charger I was talking about. So in Pennsylvania, when you rebuild a vehicle, you have to get an enhanced inspection to be able to make it legal again. And it only can become, or the only way to pass the enhanced inspection is to be factory specs, so no aftermarket window tint. So the shop, I think, that was doing inspection just tore it off. So the back window is completely full of glue, probably for a few months now. Most of the doors still had glue around everything too. That was a pain in the neck. I really hate that.
Marco, I try to tell that to my wife all the time, that do not use that plastic shit in the microwave, especially that cover that they sell for the microwaves. That is so fucked up. You're introducing so much contamination to your food, It's not even funny, and our food's already fucked up as it is. Sorry, I do kind of answer that with Marco.
Oh, Ilya's wife's getting surgery.
I hope everything's okay, Liu. Yeah, I saw that notification, North Carolina, after I think November 1st. They're not doing the inspection anymore. There's some tint laws that are changing, so that's good.
Well, from what I read, the tint law didn't actually change. They're just taking it off inspection, right?
Yeah, they're just not gonna be able to fail you because
It's a cat, not a dog.
trips are still illegal. Yep.
Yeah.
How's this?
Robert, our night is going great, buddy. How about you? Anybody else wants to be on the wheel?
You need to take the.
I hear Dax in the background.
Yep.
He's drunk.
He's drunk. Did you give him that medicine again?
Hey, mouth gets good.
Well, we had a coconut pie from where did it go? Got it from Bonefish Grill, and apparently the drizzle on top of it must be some sort of rum. And I went to take a bite, had it in my mouth, spit it out immediately. I was like, "Holy crap, that is alcohol! Get it out of my body!"
Oh no!
Dad took a huge spoonful of it, and then I brought it to Ryan. So I was like, "Is this bad, or does it just taste like alcohol?"
No.
definitely alcohol.
Yeah, it's okay. It wasn't my fault.
That doesn't count, Steph.
That does not count.
Yeah, that does not count.
It's like a rum caramel or something. I don't know.
It's strong.
It's like there's a little bit of a burn on your tongue when you put it in your mouth. Yeah, it's strong.
I was immediately spit it out.
Wow.
Did you get Justin V?
Justin V. Justin H. There's Justin V in here. Yep.
Yep. Van Dyke and hair.
Driving can't see. Okay, I got you, Justin.
Robert.
Ryan got you. Robert is on there. Yep.
Okay.
I just dropped my phone on my face, closed my eyes for a few seconds.
Is she falling asleep?
Oh my God, Mother Mary.
It happens. I've done that.
Oh, man.
I actually did that when I was up with my parents. I was downstairs laying in bed, and I was like, I didn't feel tired, so I turned on one of them stupid phone or games on my phone. I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, crack. I'm like, I guess I was tired.
Yep.
Oh, editing videos.
A lot of people have done that. I have done that multiple times. I'm not gonna lie. Yes, that does happen. Is the wheel not coming up on the screen?
I mean, it was up there.
Okay, let me see.
Mama, watch. No, don't be on your phone. Watch with me.
All right, there we go. The wheel's back up. Okay, cool. All right, so the wheel's up. If anybody else wants their name in here, I will put that name on there. Again, training event, August 16, 17. This is training / mentorship. I do want to give a shout out to the trainers again for dedicating their time and their effort to grow this industry. The trainers are doing this free of cost. They're not getting anything paid to come out here and do this. They're doing this because they love the industry and they want to grow the industry. So I want to thank all the trainers. I want to thank all the collaborators that are collaborating to make this event happen. I want to thank all the admin guys that are putting time and effort and money into making this happen. So appreciate the growth. I think this is a great start to something that's going to be phenomenal for years and years to come. If I win, will you PPF my new car? I'm gonna reverse your reverse psychology. Okay. Been there. What am I not winning tonight? Ah, okay, I see. This is one of those everybody want to be Trip Turner situation. Ryan is getting sick. I don't know what's going on with Ryan. I'll teach you. All right. So Ryan's going to teach something. Sean is trying to tint the back window while we're still on the live.
Sean is done with the back window.
Huh?
Sean is done with back window.
Back window's done.
All right, guys. So let's spin it. Let's call it a night. This was a great live. Appreciate you, Sean, for being on here, for dedicating your time. Same thing with Marco, Ryan, Saints, Dustin Gonzalez, and Dustin Hall. Ryan hungry, Kush. Give it to Thomas. He's hungry. I'll teach you. All right, I'm gonna spin it. 1, 2, 3. People are hungry. Ryan's food is getting cold.
That was a test spin, wasn't it?
Hey, look, I just mentioned that people used to use Trip's name because he used to win. And look, this fool won. What the heck? Damn, Trip.
What do you win?
He's got one of them surprise packages.
Oh, mystery
Packages. All right, guys. We will have well, I gotta work on next week's guest because the guest I had has to reschedule. So we'll see what who is coming on next week. But if you want to get on that training program, let me know. There are only limited amount of seats. We're not doing this open to everybody. This is going to be a select amount of people according to amount of trainers we have. Again, we're trying to make sure that there are no more than 3 students per trainer. That does not include admins and other people running or helping out with the program. Again, there's going to be plotting software, CRM, business, spreadsheet, hands-on training, shrinking, filing. There's going to be so much stuff that you're going to do in the networking, food, not to mention food, goodies, swag. There's so much stuff. $299 is a one-time price. It will not be $299 again. It will only go up. You're typically looking at something similar, at least $3,000 or more. But to be able to get with trainers like this, to especially have 6 top-notch trainers in one facility to network, to learn, and to build mentorship, it's going to be freaking awesome. If you don't attend it, I'm sorry. That's your loss. But if you still want to get on it, we do have some slots available. Get with me, and we'll make this happen. All right. I'm going to... all right, Trip. Now it looks like Trip is getting drunk.
It's making cupcakes.
Can you not see me? I can see you, Trip. We're gonna go to that comment, huh, Trip? All right, Sean. Thank you so much, man. You go ahead and knock that window out. Sorry about your loss of your friend, man. Deepest condolences on that. Looking forward to having you and little mama at the event. And we'll keep you posted, bro. Thank you so much.
All right, no problem.
All right. Ryan, any last
Later.
words?
No.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for giving us your time and day. Have a great week. Kill it. Work hard. Hustle hard. And let's grow this thing together. And if anybody wants to get on the Monday morning meetup or the Wednesday afternoon roundtable talks, let me know. I will put you on the link, and we'll try to make some of those meetings live as well too. So just so you can kind of see what some of the stuff that gets talked about, and we basically pretty much talk about everyday life. All right, guys. Good night, y'all.
Good night.